Yo, welcome everyone. Bitcoin is once again trying to get a successful breakout and nobody is talking about this. Let me show you now. First, you're going to see in yesterday's live stream, I was talking about the first support level, the recent low right here at approximately 74,500 US dollars. It was the first liquidity level where potentially we were looking to fire another long or a buying position at. Bitcoin then went slightly lower, hit another quite an important support level, which was actually the value area low, measuring the entire upper price action. The level was hit beautifully. Bitcoin then started reclaiming our recent low, and that is right why I am still holding my long or a buy trade on Bitcoin from approximately 74,600 US dollars. All of those trades, the long trade on Bitcoin, the long trade on Ethereum, and also the long trade on XRP are brand new trades, and let's right now see if we are going to be able to continue even higher back towards the upside. And right now, the next bullish indication I'm simply paying attention to is if Bitcoin is going to be able to get a breakout above our trend line area of resistance. You probably remember about our major trend line we have been paying attention to on the daily time frame, connecting our lower highs right here and going with the log scale. We simply said breaking such a significant trend line towards the upside is going to be a major bullish indication, and so far, no, we are not doing this, but nevertheless, the same theory actually applies also on the 1 hourly and of course also on the 30-minute time frame. If Bitcoin right now is going to be able to get a successful breakout right here, bullish indication, let's actually see if we are able to push even higher towards the upside. But also right now, remember from our yesterday's live stream, we were identifying the market structure on the 30-minute and of course also on the 1 hourly time frame. We simply said and we identified that right here we're going to push towards the upside. Higher high, higher low, another higher high, another higher low, higher high, higher low, another higher high. And at least as of right now, the market structure on the 1 hourly time frame remains bullish. What we are forming right here right now can simply be another higher low, and the trend might even continue back towards the upside in the upcoming days. So definitely the market structure remains bullish, but also right now when we go with our exponential moving averages on the 1 hourly, the average trend is still towards the upside. On the 2 hourly, the trend of course also right here, it is still towards the upside, and also on the 4 hourly time frame, the trend remains towards the upside. So right now, looking at this logically, some kind of a gravity is pushing Bitcoin higher and higher and higher. That is why, as we said in our yesterday's video, no way I'm going to look to fire another short trade right here. I simply am going to look to fire another long position on Bitcoin, on Ethereum, and also on XRP. And right now, cherry on top would definitely be if Bitcoin is able to break our trend line right here towards the upside. Later, I am going to show you the first very important price target right here, but nevertheless, now the only level that in my opinion is a very important one is going to be this specific trend line area of resistance. And also, if you do remember from yesterday's live stream, I was saying to you, a lot of people at this specific area were entering brand new long or buy trades. Look right now the CVD indicator to see exactly what was happening yesterday. And of course, if a lot of people are entering brand new long positions, what potentially could go wrong? Of course, because of that, Bitcoin right here got another push towards the upside, got another liquidation spike right here, exactly at the bottom, wrecked everyone that fired a long position right here, and only right now we are getting right here some kind of a rotation back towards the upside. That is right why I would really appreciate if you right now smash up the like button, because 700 likes are definitely possible right here. And of course also, thank you for subscribing to the channel. Now, let's talk about some kind of a bearish scenario I'm still right now paying attention to in a case Bitcoin right here is going to start rejecting back down. To be honest, I do right now still prefer a bullish scenario, which is simply going to be this right here is a higher low, and of course because of that we might still be expecting another higher high. We will be talking about the exact targets towards the upside in the upcoming minutes, but nevertheless, how is a bearish scenario right now going to look like on Bitcoin if, for example, right here we get a breakout and only then then we start rejecting massively towards upside. You probably remember our yesterday's live stream where I actually showed you that potentially Bitcoin right here might be forming some kind of the left shoulder. We got right here the head, and also right now if we start going higher and then a rejection back down is actually going to happen, we could talk about right here some kind of a head and shoulders pattern. And probably right now you're wondering what is going to be the target of the right shoulder, and also what is going to be the price target, the bearish price target actually, of this entire head and shoulders pattern. Talking about right now the exact target, what we need to do, going with the trend line, going from the head, measuring this entire head towards some side, and putting the trend line on the potential breakdown. In this scenario, we are for sure talking about much lower targets below 70,000 US dollars to approximately 69,000 US dollar area. But the reality is, in this scenario, first of all, Bitcoin still needs to form the right shoulder right here. We need to hit our major area of resistance, and only after we hit the resistance, we need to then of course also get some kind of a rejection back down. I do know I'm going very much in the future with this specific pattern, but nevertheless, I still want you to be prepared in case Bitcoin right now is going to go higher and hit our major level right here. So what is going to be the first resistance level you should really pay attention to? Again, breaking a trend line area of resistance, it is definitely going to be a bullish Bitcoin indication. However, usually on the breakout right here, we are not really that interested to fire another long or buy trade. Usually, we are looking to fire a long position directly at the area of support. But the thing is, if we now go higher, we break the trend line area of resistance, Bitcoin is also going to hit the first very important level. And what we need to do right now, let's go on the 30-minute time frame. We are going to go with the anchored VWAP and anchor it exactly at this specific high. The level is coming in at approximately 75,800 US dollars, and trust me, this specific level is really not a random price target. We need to right now also measure the entire price action here, where you can right now see the value area high is coming in approximately at our anchored VWAP. But let me now show you exactly how potentially you can trade this exact scenario. If Bitcoin right now does go higher, we break our trend line, we potentially hit our area of resistance, and then of course also get some kind of a rejection back down. The push towards downside or the rejection here can only be some kind of a bullish retest. So of course, if for example you did not fire a long trade on XRP, on Ethereum, or maybe also on Bitcoin right here, you could potentially look to go with another long position on some kind of a bullish retest, of course, if it's even going to happen. If it doesn't happen, Bitcoin continues higher. What is in this scenario then going to be an even bigger price target? Very, very simply, we usually need to pay attention to the liquidity levels. Remember, in yesterday's live stream, if I'm correct, I talked about the first liquidity level being this specific recent high. But to be honest, the most important one is going to be this specific high, slightly higher, at approximately 76,400 US dollars. The liquidity level above this specific high is a more important one, simply because it is going to be slightly higher than the first liquidity level. And usually when we pay attention to the liquidity levels, the upper one is actually hit. So that is why the most important one, in my opinion, right now is going to be the liquidity level coming in at approximately 76,400 US dollars. But also right now, we go with our Fibonacci retracement slightly higher. There is going to be another golden Fibonacci ratio. So definitely a bigger area of resistance I would definitely be paying attention to right now Bitcoin is going to be the golden Fibonacci ratio, the liquidity level, but also right now, remember again about the bigger trend line. When we go with the log scale, we go right here on the daily, we connect the all-time high with the lower high right here, where we are right now going to see our trend line area of resistance of Bitcoin is definitely coming in exactly at the area of the golden pocket and also at our liquidity level. So definitely I'm not telling to you that we could be forming right here some kind of a head and shoulders pattern if Bitcoin potentially in the upcoming hours does hit the golden Fibonacci ratio and then of course does start rejecting back towards some side. Until this specific level right here is going to get hit, I definitely do remain in my long trade on Bitcoin, on Ethereum, and also on XRP. Potentially, I'm going to be taking some profits right here at the golden Fibonacci ratio, stop loss to break even, and then simply let's see if the level does get broken towards the upside, or are we going to get a rejection and maybe even form the head and shoulders pattern. That is right now why, if you want to trade with us, take advantage of the free 30,000 US dollar bonus with the first link down below in the description, because right now Bybit, only after you register register with my specific link, you're going to get 20 USDT completely for free. Then make sure you deposit at least 100. You get another 20 USDT completely for free. But also, when you're going to fire up your first trade, you're going to get even bigger bonuses using the first link down below in the description. But also right now on Bybit, not only that you can trade crypto, you can trade Forex, commodities, and stock CFDs, but also you can trade brand new altcoins that are being released. So of course, if you're looking to trade right now Bitcoin with a long, maybe even with a short trade, take an advantage of the free bonus using the first link down below. You register, you deposit, you're already going to get a beautiful bonus. But also right now, another reason why this specific area, in my opinion, is right now acting as a magnet for Bitcoin is going to be because of the major CME futures chart. The CME gap that Bitcoin formed only a few hours ago is actually quite a significant one. And yes, 90% of all of the CME gaps usually get filled sooner rather than later. So if you look like that, Bitcoin right now does have quite a high probability of pushing higher, filling the CME gap to approximately 77,500 US dollars. And this right here, the CME futures chart, is right now definitely another major bullish Bitcoin indication. Sure, we still do have a CME gap right here below our recent lows, and also another one right here at approximately 67,000 US dollars. But nevertheless, at least as right now, you need to understand market structure remains bullish. If Bitcoin right here starts breaking our trendline area of resistance, another bullish indication. But of course, also right now, paying attention to the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, the biggest liquidations on the 3-day time frame are going to be exactly above the recent highs. Right here, if Bitcoin does continue higher, the biggest liquidation cluster is going to be at 78,500 US dollars. But also right now, zooming out even further and going right now on the 1-week time frame, the story is going to be a very similar one. The biggest liquidation cluster coming in exactly above the recent high. So to be honest right now, if I would right now say to you, Bitcoin is probably right here going to get a major rejection back down, I would purely be guessing. You need to understand, we trade the probabilities, and of course, if there is an uptrend, if we right now break our trend line right here, and also maybe even in the upcoming hours, we break our major trend line area of resistance towards the upside, for sure, we could be paying attention right here for another push towards the upside, with the next target being just slightly higher above the recent high, which in this scenario is then going to be another daily high-term time frame area of resistance at 78,600 US dollars. Let's right now see what Bitcoin is going to do in the upcoming hours. But nevertheless, as we said before, we did fire another long position, not only on Bitcoin, but of course also on Ethereum and XRP. And let's see right now if Bitcoin potentially is going to be able to get another push towards the upside. That is right now why, if you want to trade with us, take an advantage of the free bonus right here with the first link down below. You register, you're already going to get 20 USDT, you deposit at least 100, you're going to get another 20 USDT, but also when you're going to fire up your first trade, you're going to get even bigger bonuses using the first link down below in the description. But also right now, thank you for smashing up the like button.